Something you probably don't know about me. Originally, I had this one set up as I'm a Cowboys fan. But let's just squash. I think it's pretty obvious that I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm wearing a Witten jersey, wearing a Cowboys hat. It's not even Sunday. I'm wearing this outfit to work on a Saturday. So I think it's pretty obvious. So we're going to push that aside and come up with something so much more important than who my favorite sports football team is. It's how I met my wife, Shannon. It's a funny story. You may not also know that I've been married before. After my first marriage ended, we were separated at the time. And I'd gone through a tough time, and my brother and one of my best friends from Tampa decided that we were going to hang out. And I hadn't really hung out for a long time. So we were trying to figure out the best way to do it. So we said, well, I can get my son up to spend some time with his mom, and then we can all meet in Las Vegas. Yeah. So, the quintessential guys trip to Vegas, legally separated, so it's time to go have fun. Well, I will tell you that I had been to Vegas before on a business trip and had a good time. Had a really good time. Nothing crazy, but this time it was going to be, let's go do this the right way. So we all went and had a great time. Went for 5 days, which I don't know if you've ever been to Vegas or not, but 5 days in Vegas on a visit it can be a long time. 3 days we found in subsequent years, 3 days is probably a good amount of time to visit. So we we had a great hotel. We stayed at the MGM. We did some gambling here, did some gambling there, and just went to go see some shows, things like that. And it was our last night there, so we went to New York casino, and I enjoy playing blackjack, and so did my friend Glenn. And my brother's not a big gambler, but he loves Vegas. So we were all there and just sitting at a blackjack table. So I guess it was probably in the afternoon, probably close to 6 o'clock or so. Now I realized we had to leave the next morning to come home, all three of us. We were checking out the next morning. So we were at a blackjack table, and there was probably about 3 or 4 of us already there, and a couple empty seats. And these 2 girls sat down with 2 guys. I think they had 2 guys with them. I'm pretty sure they did. They all sat down, and we all started striking up a conversation. And we just sat there and played for a long time. I mean, it wasn't a crazy betting or anything like that. There may have been alcohol involved. But we just all played, and we all talked and socialized and things like that at the blackjack table. This blonde, a seat opens up next to me, and one of the girls makes an announcement. She basically said that she needed a change of scenery, and she had been sitting next to my friend previously, and I think he might have read that the wrong way, but what she was meaning to say was that she was looking to go sit next to me instead. So she sat down next to me, and we sat and chatted for another 6 hours at that blackjack table. At the end of the night, it was late. We actually had gambled all the way through the night, and it was cool. We exchanged phone numbers. I got back to my room just in time to pack and make it back on the flight. Everybody was upset with me because my brother had left earlier. He wasn't so upset, but Glenn was a little upset with me. He understood. We kept in touch, and then she had just been hired by a regional airline, and she just so happened to be going to Orlando to for her training. So my parents at the time lived about 45 minutes from Orlando, so it worked out really well. I was able to go down, spend a lot of time with her. I was able to go down and spend a little bit of time with her for about a week. And I went home and she went back to training. And then she was stationed in New York with her regional airline as a flight attendant. And she would be, when she could, she would fly into Richmond. We'd meet up and have dinner and things like that, and it just kind of blossomed from there. We realized that it was going to work out really well, so she ended up relocating here, and now she's my wife. So that's the story of how I met my wife. I still think it's crazy, and we always get a kick out of telling people about it. Anyway, still kicking to this day.